Sony kicked off its E3 press conference by giving us our first look at the PS4. Following the event, we took a moment to speak to the TechRadar team to get their first impressions of the hardware and discuss some of the biggest talking points from the PlayStation 4 keynote.
So the PS4's here, and it's fair to say that people are pretty pleased.
Well, I think it's really interesting. It was brilliant that Sony didn't actually show off a console when they did their big reveal. So E3 was always going to be a massive event for them, an awful lot of people watching to see what it looked like, how much it would cost, and when we'd be getting our hands on. And I think it's been really, really fascinating from the outside to see that Sony have, I think, nailed their early sight into what we're going to get in the PS4.
The design is nice, very similar to the Xbox One actually, but slightly sort of futury slanted look, which people seem to be quite keen on at the moment.
The Xbox has been criticised for looking a little bit industrial, a little bit black boxy. Sony have also gone with the sort of the black motif, although there's a little bit more angular, a little bit more edgy, and I think an awful lot of gamers will find that quite attractive. It's always interesting to see what they go with, and this kind of angular, chunky design they've gone with, I think it's really nice.
Really, we're seeing now that its gamble on old school gaming is starting to pay off. So they really came out, just fired out a great bunch of games. Some nice surprises as well. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a nice surprise for a lot of people. Indie gaming's become one of Sony's real strong suits over the last year. It's great to see that they're pushing that into the PS4 generation with things like self-publishing, which is going to be a huge pull for indie developers.
Now, one of the big selling points of the PS3 over the Xbox 360 was that you didn't have an Xbox Live Gold thing for the Sony console. You could just play your games, and people thought that was great. I think for this generation, it was always kind of likely that you would have to pay for it, but it sounds like you will have to have a PlayStation Plus subscription to be able to play multiplayer games online.
Price, another big crowd pleaser. £80 less, $100 cheaper than the Xbox One. For most people, that's going to be a no-brainer. Why would they pay more for something that does the same thing, potentially more hassle as well?
Sony have gone for a much cheaper price. They haven't bundled in their eye, which I think is really interesting, but they've gone for a much cheaper price, £349, $399. I think it's the kind of price that people will find really attractive. Microsoft have bundled in the Kinect. They want the Kinect to be central to everything that they're doing, but that means that's really pushed the price up. And £429, $499, that's a big step up from the Sony console. But I think for an awful lot of people in the middle that just want the best gaming machine, this could be a big deciding factor. And I think that price is always going to be a significant thing, and a lot of people might well be plumping for Sony and the PS4 rather than Microsoft and the Xbox One.
So it'll be really interesting to see now where publishers go, whether they go for the Xbox One, where the licensing setup perhaps promises better profit margins, or if they'll go for the PS4, which right now is actually looking like it could be the more popular console. Either way, we're definitely going to a very exciting new generation of console gaming.